We live it. Forms. Next. Good morning. I can say that for the next 15 minutes. Everyone's doing well. I realize my headset's off. I'm not hearing music. Here we go. Good morning. It's gonna be an interesting day. We're gonna be requesting a I think it'd be deemed like an appellate review of the ruling of the case yesterday. Because I think it'd be hypocritical of Rhodes to complain that no one argues the mayor-related stuff, and then not argue that, like, foundationally, the ruling was not good. Especially the reference to immunity. Because it doesn't apply. It technically does apply if an officer was being charged or sued, but neither of those things were true. So, like, introducing it as a prong would have been no different than a prong. Oh, wait, a judicial appeal went up. Oh, wait, you already did it? What the fuck? Okay. Fisher is appealing it. It was posted by Maple. I guess I'll just piggyback on this. I didn't realize that this had been posted. This was posted at 8:44, so 3 hours ago. Holy fuck. See if anyone around. It's so funny because I was literally just going to look at the posted ruling and break it down. And the last thing posted was judicial appeal. Wait, hold on. My stream deck is not working. There we go.
Okay, we're left westbound power. In westbound San Andreas. Looking things a rocket
So,
ship. Full San westbound San Andreas. Braking heavy, right, north, Palomino.
closed.
Full San north on Palomino, right.
Wait, is it not closed? Is it
Eastbound
check verdict
Dorset.
rendered?
Anyone alive who can wake the fuck up? Eastbound Dorset.
Today we've heard arguments from both sides regarding the situation and how the charge attempted murder of a government employee revolves around it. There are two aspects to take into consideration in this instance. How qualified immunity applies to the officer's actions, and if Mr. Black's actions fit the charge of attempted murder of a government employee. Qualified immunity case law has two major prongs: threat perception and use of force. For the perception of threat,
back now.
regardless of if they had visual confirmation of a weapon, Mr. Black's possession, any threat of violence on an active scene must be taken as if it's an active potential. The use of force in this situation is a little muddier. Well, I do believe that the perception...
Hello, sir.
Hello. Don't mind me. Well, I do believe...
I gotta burst into the ladies' room, so don't arrest me.
Oh, okay. Well, I do believe that the perception of threat was valid. I believe that the immediateness of the threat wasn't there, as the action was not carried out until officers had actively started shooting at the defendant. While I do believe that the perception of threat was valid, I believe the immediateness of the threat wasn't there, as the action was not carried out. Hold on. Immediateness. Happening without delay. We are to wait to be shot before we shoot. Anyways, while I do believe that the perception of threat was valid, I believe that the immediateness of the threat wasn't there, as the action was not carried out until officers had actively started shooting at the defendant. While the threat of violence had been presented, the only confirmed attempt on an officer's life was made after they had opened fire at the defendant, who had not previously been warned that they would open fire. Which brings me to the next concept of, will the next argument be they had enough time to warn, therefore it wasn't an immediate threat? Who knows? It'll be interesting. There's not enough in evidence or testimony to show that Mr. Black pulling in front of Officer Fisher's car was an intentional attempt to do anything more than help those being chased escape. Additionally, not entirely convinced that the defendant swerving towards Officer Dark's car was intentional, as he may have panicked due to the sudden gunfire. This is an interesting concept because he didn't testify. So jumping to that conclusion is interesting. As he may panic due to the sudden gunfire. As Officer Dark fired first, the claim that Mr. Black was defending himself was a reasonable one. Had the charge in question been reckless endangerment, I'd 100% be finding the defendant guilty. However, as this is an attempted murder charge, I'm finding him not guilty of this charge, as the actions he took that could be considered lethal beyond a reasonable doubt were only taken after lethal force had already been presented against him. I mean, it's labeled judicial appeal. I probably would have put like appellate review or something. I think that's how it's written in oh, it's not this. Actually, this is where I was kind of getting caught up in a few things. Where is it? Here. Judicial appeals via the prosecution are only allowed in the instance of challenging precedents being set by the judiciary in error of law. No re-prosecution is allowed due to the double jeopardy laws. This can be done by challenging common law being passed. I guess the issue becomes if the ruling in this case gets referenced in other ones, even if a magistrate themselves can't set precedents, it strengthens the case, given that their prior rulings Let's see. Sorry. Just finished my breakfast. We're good. Is it Sunday? I fuck with this song. Mm-mm-mm. I'm trying to make parallels here. Because while they don't have to testify, is the problem that we didn't charge assault with a deadly weapon? Because inherently, if we charged assault with a deadly weapon, let's look at this charge. Attempts to commit a violent injury upon another person with a deadly weapon, described as a firearm or any type of melee item, also including motor vehicles. So here's here's the wonkiness of this. Use his vehicle as a weapon towards roads. Also did it towards Fisher. And it would 1000% qualify as assault with a deadly weapon. And at that point, we'd be cleared to open fire no matter what. We just didn't. Until the additional threat, after already having, you know, caused the situation with roads in addition to, hold on. I'm sorry. Okay. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, are you on a call?
No, not right now.
Where you at?
I'm at MRPD, sir.
Good morning.
I did a bad.
Oh, you... Oh, perfect. Pred's office, please. Miller and Brandy, you too.
Oh,
Do
no.
not take
I'm
me
on my
down.
way.
It was Osvaldo.
Turn 9. You okay?
Beyond? Ocean King? Can we get something beyond?
I don't know which one is.
Why is Miller coming here?
Well, I need you to be here for support.
Oh, okay.
Hey, how you
You're in
doing?
trouble.
I don't get in trouble. What do you mean?
No, he doesn't get. He only gets fired.
Yeah, exactly.
So when's your court case?
I got no clue, so I don't understand court.
Okay. Brandy, I'm gonna need
Yeah?
you to hold your work husband's hand when I
Hold
say
hand.
this.
This is the only affection he's given me all day. I've been trying to embrace him all day, and he keeps denying me.
Wait, hold up. Actually, before we get to this, then what's going on?
He just won't show me affection, Rhodes. It's
I'm
getting
not a public
annoying.
guy.
He
I'm
keeps
not a
saying a no
public
booty on
guy.
duty, but nothing wrong with a little handhold for a second. Like,
I mean,
God.
hand holding's fine. Okay, PDA's a little. I'd rather.
She was trying to hold my waist in the car park, sir.
No, I was trying to
In
hold his
front of
hand.
4 other opposite.
Listen, at that point, you better just start bragging about getting some. Unlike these other bitches out here, lonely as fuck.
Yeah, nah, you right, but like
Uh-huh.
sometimes you know you gotta make sure your homies are cool, and like just because they ain't don't mean I need to rub it in their face.
Yeah, I mean, no, you listen. You need to be the shining example of, you know, they could be better. They just gotta find that other fish in the sea. They gotta find that, you know, the person they gonna vibe with.
Also,
But
there's some freaky people in the LSPD. I feel like that we'll have Jack Voss taking pictures, watching.
I mean, that's a
salivating, you know.
possibility. Okay, Brandy, back to holding hands.
Hold his hand.
Miller, I have some bad news, bud.
Oh, is it not looking good?
It's not. And I don't want you to panic, but I also want to set forth realistic expectations. The
Why have to
judge in
speak
charge
on
of
the
your
stand?
case ruled self-defense was valid against PD yesterday. So I wish you the absolute fucking best. And then
What does
also,
that mean?
Yesterday.
yeah, there's a case against Carl Johnny Black where he intentionally rammed me. It wasn't at like crazy rates of speed, but regardless,
I'm so sorry.
that's all right.
I really just wanted to embrace, to really listen.
I understand.
Are
I
you
understand.
embracing other men now? Because I won't give you affection, Brandy.
Stop that. He has a husband.
My bad, my bad.
So the context here was KJ flipped. He was an interference car. He flipped the car I was pursuing. He then rammed me multiple times, like very intentionally. The pursuit continued on. He then turned in front of an officer doing over 100 miles an hour. Like he made a U-turn in front of an officer to assist with the other situation. And then shortly after that said, or Davenport was on radio saying, you know, just surrender, get out of the vehicle with your hands up, to which he replied, the only way I'm getting out of this car is to shoot you. So I cleared us open fire, right? The judge ruled because we opened fire first, it was valid for him to get out of the car and open fire upon Richard, my husband, a cop.
A judge said that.
What?
Yeah, they simultaneously said that we didn't warn them, but also that there is no immediateness. So like, I question if the next ruling is, well, how could it have been immediate if you had enough time to warn them? Am I to warn someone to stop shooting me before I return fire? That sounds stupid. Anyways, long story short, actually, do y'all know KJ, Carl Johnny Black?
Yeah, he's
extremely
angry.
violent.
Extremely correct. Would you say he stands on business?
I
Yeah.
went to a drug call a couple days ago. I pulled up and he started pointing a gun at me.
Yeah, well, guess what? Any attempt at me indicating, you know, that KJ stands on business was shot down by the judge every time, even though that went into my decision making, knowing full well who we were dealing with. And then in the judge's ruling, they referenced immunity, which is irrelevant here because it wasn't a civil case and it wasn't a criminal case involving officers being held responsible for like the unlawful shooting of someone.
Is this the judge dealing with my case?
Yes, you're fucked.
Oh, no, I'm fucked. I'm fucked.
You
It's
are
over.
fucked.
It's over.
I don't want to be the, you know, the bearer of bad news, but I also want you to have realistic expectations going into this. This is a problem.
last I spoke about this case was with Maxwell and Opal and a lawyer that wasn't willing to represent us but wanted to give us advice. And they were trying to not get me on the stand. Is that still the game plan?
I don't know.
So that's when I say I have zero court experience. I'm okay admitting my strengths.
Full disclosure, Miller, you
Mhm.
might be forced to go on the stand because of two things. Number one, this is a civil case and no charges are being pressed against you. And two, it's outside of statute of limitations, so you're not at risk of self-incrimination because we can't push charges on you even if we wanted to. It's been past 30 days. Which now means you are forced, in my opinion, to testify. The only reason you can plead the fifth is to prevent self-incrimination. And again, it's outside of statute, so how are you going to self-incriminate?
Fuck.
Yeah, you might be fucked. Which lawyer told you this?
Well, this was Maxwell, Opal, and I forget what his name is.
Bailey Harvey, maybe?
Yeah.
That's the only
Harvey.
lawyer I know.
Yeah, him.
But yeah, I just wanted to set forth that expectation. We are going for a appeal to the ruling because in my opinion, like, well, I didn't even speak with Maple, but Maple had filed it like 3 hours ago. But ultimately, I think this is probably one of the worst rulings I had ever seen. And I say this as someone who goes into every court case with like no expectation of coming out on top, right? Like, I understand that judges' rulings are, their discretion. But I think when they further clarify stuff, with stuff, I mean, they said that there were 2 prongs, so that there could have been a fucking third of which the sky was blue and nothing changes because it's irrelevant to the situation.
One of their prongs was you didn't give him a warning. I never realized we had to warn to legally justify our actions. I
Hold
feel like
on.
that's more like good faith and, doing our due diligence, but I definitely didn't think that was like a legal justification. Like, that's
While the threat
crazy.
of violence had been presented, the only confirmed attempt on an officer's life was made after they had opened fire at the defendant, who had not previously been warned that they would open fire.
This is cooked.
Holy shit.
That's bad. That's so bad.
So essentially, what I'm gathering here is if McMoo were kidnapped and in a vehicle that someone indicated they had a bomb in, until the bomb blows up, I'm to not give a fuck.
Yeah, genuinely. That's the truth. Did you give her that rebuttal?
I'm pretty sure I said on the stand something regarding, if someone gonna tell me they gonna do something, I'ma believe them. Why am I not going to?
Yeah, it's in our force matrix.
And the
Literally,
other thing was, again, every time I try to reference that KJ stands on business and when he say he gonna do something, he gonna do it. The judge consistently sustained Barrett's objection, preventing my statement from, making it through, essentially.
surely verbalization being in our force matrix is like an arguing point of we listen to people and we verbalize.
Well,
we
no, the
can't use
expectation
what-
there is like we are verbalized, but ultimately, again, like with this logic, it's like arguing aiming a gun at someone isn't an immediate threat until they shoot. Like, I'm being facetious here when I say that. Like, no one would ever rule that way. But like, again, the concern being he had already intentionally rammed me. He pulled in front of an officer at over 100 miles an hour, made a U-turn directly in front of him. And like, none of that matter. But like, again, in combination with everything, when he said, only way I'm getting out this core is to shoot you, when he said that to Davenport, trust and believe I made that call immediately.
I would have done the same thing, sir. Completely.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
would
listen, I
hope
even spoke
majority
with
of us
Barrett,
would.
and Barrett said he thought, nah, maybe there's like a 5% chance he's found not guilty on the 5% chance. RNG was good that day. You know
needs to
what?
go
If I
buy a
roll a
lottery
1 to
ticket.
5, if I roll a 1 to 5 here, this is deserved.
That is insane.
I'm just
Well-
saying, see, the universe has determined it was not deserved. By one.
Jesus
By one.
Christ.
Small margin, guys. Small margin.
Maybe it was just a skill issue on your part, you know? Maybe
No,
you
this is giving skill issue on McMoo's part. I never wanted to ACR someone, but I'm very much so considering. I think the ruling was so atrocious that genuinely I'm considering.
What does ACR mean? Like cancelled as a judge?
No. It's the like accountability. Hold on. It is the authority conduct review. It's essentially holding anyone in any government position accountable. It would cost me $250,000 or 50 signatures. But you can be ACR'd for dereliction of duty, exceeding the mandate of your office, constitutional breach, general corruption. I fucking hate that word. We'll just say misconduct. Gross negligence, gross incompetence, felony criminal conviction, violation of oath. I would probably go for
Incompetence, right?
yeah. Either that or negligence. The thing is, I would actually argue that this is not enough, because the standard for gross negligence, I'm saying negligence here just as an example, is like, listen, if you hit someone in a pursuit, right, like driving off, that would be negligent without, you know, making sure the person's okay. Gross negligence would be running them over, stopping, asking them if they're okay. They say no, they need help. You run them over again and then drive off. Like, that's gross negligence. Like, the standard is far different, and a lot of people fail to realize that. But the ruling of this is so dumb.
Hey.
Had the charge in question been reckless endangerment, I would 100% be finding the defendant guilty. However, as this is attempted murder charge, I'm finding him not guilty, as as the actions he took that could be considered lethal beyond a reasonable doubt were only taken after lethal force had already been presented against him.
We need her fired and taken off this case. Because we're going to lose a lot of money, bro.
How come you don't have a date for your case yet?
Because they're moaning in smart people talk on the docket. I don't understand half these motions. Motion this.
Oh,
All I know is that's a stupid decision, and if she makes a stupid decision, I don't want to get fired again, Rhodes. We gotta stop her.
There's nothing that they can do to get you fired.
Wait, really?
Yeah, no,
they take my
that's on
money?
us. Oh yeah, they
no,
can
they're
take your
taking-
money.
Yeah.
I only got like 100 grand.
Okay, well, you know, congratulations.
Wait,
You're
where did
about to
50
learn what
million
debt
come
is.
From? I thought they were suing for 50 million.
They are.
Oh,
They're also
and that would
suing
come out of Miller's pockets, right?
No, the PD and the
Oh.
I think the state of
It might be a combination. Who knows?
yeah.
That's assuming you're found guilty of anything.
What can I say?
Or
and
liable,
What can't
sorry.
I say?
Well, I can't tell you what to say because I don't want to. I don't want to influence. You know, like, I will say this. You cannot say you don't recall if you genuinely recall. That is that would genuinely be perjury. People fail to realize, because they've seen on TV shows, people go, "No, I don't recall. I don't remember this and that." If you genuinely remember, and you are on the stand, you have to answer to the best of your ability. Now, can you know, when you're painting a picture of your version of events, yeah, you can take some liberties here and there, and, you know, to try to paint you in a better light. But you know, you gotta make sure that you are not lying, because that will get you fired. If you are found to be, you know, lying on the stand, that is 100% grounds to get fired.
100%. But I've stood by. The bit they're gonna hammer down on is my statement of not remembering that Finley Milton apparently told me they were like special or whatever.
Okay,
And the
well, do
EMS
you
telling me-
genuinely not remember that
I
had occurred?
genuinely don't. I genuinely.
Okay. Well, guess what? Were you the one organizing this raid?
Yeah.
Was there a lot of moving parts of this raid?
Yeah.
Do you remember what you ate for breakfast that morning?
I was extremely sick at that point. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I don't.
So you were sick. You were already dealing with stuff. You had to organize a large scale raid.
Right.
Not remembering, you know, bits and pieces. Again, I can't stress this enough. It's as long as you truly do not recall that conversation that you had, you can state that on the stand.
As long as I'm not spamming, I don't recall it, I should be good.
I mean, you're only supposed to say it when you don't recall, and if that's the
Yeah.
only thing you don't recall, then that is
Yeah,
what it is.
I'm
I mean,
genuinely-
is it gonna
sure
is it gonna be perceived as convenient? Sure, okay, but what are we to do in the event where, you know, realistically, we go and raid Flippy's house and he tells us, you know, that wall right there is a memorial. You know, I don't want you to touch that.
And then there happens to be $1 million freaking dollars hidden behind there, or a
And
bunch
That's why
of
I feel
guns,
like-
or bombs.
I feel like
Flippy has bombs.
two cars in a mechanic shop doesn't scream memorial. It screams we were working on these two cars when you locked down our property for the raid. You know?
also, hold up. Wait a minute. I just realized something.
No, because what if they said that regardless, and he did remember, but what if they were hiding stuff under the memorial or whatever? Like,
Hold
you
on.
have to.
Wait. A memorial is defined as something, especially a structure established to remind people of a person or event. Why they got it covered up?
Are the cars covered up?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
If the car is intended to remind people, why is it covered up?
They're gonna argue like to protect the, you know, make sure they don't get damaged.
Then bitch, a photo would be better. I don't know what to tell you.
Is this
No, you
like
can't say that on stand. That listen, you also have to realize that there's a level of tact required, and you can't just you can't
need to be trained for it before you go on stage.
yeah.
Who should I
like-
go to then? Do I need a lawyer? Or am I sharing an LSPD lawyer? Am I gonna have someone in the LSPD represent me?
I don't know.
or-
I heard Pred was potentially going to be involved. Whether or not that's true, I don't know.
Everyone I ask, I get told I don't know, and I haven't done anything. And it's seeming like this is getting more and more serious, and it's gonna happen soon. And I'm still at square one. At this point, I'm just gonna go up there, speak my truth, and then go home. I guess that's all I can do.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I
that's what
don't
you're
wanna-
expected to do.
I don't want to fuck over the LSPD doing so, painting their narrative that they're trying to paint, you know?
Well, actually, what happened with this conversation in a car that someone recorded? What was that all about?
So prior to the raid,
I just have to touch up my makeup.
You're
That's
good,
fine.
you're good. Prior to the raid, Finley Milton wanted to speak to me. I was in the BCSO at this point. I was literally about to do the briefing for the raid. He called me and said, "I'd like to have a chat with you so we can make sure this goes down peacefully." I didn't want to completely like, I didn't want to raid them while none of them are awake. So I kind of hinted at the raid was going down that night. So they wanted to force that, like, have that conversation as soon as possible. I said, "Can we do it over the phone?" Because obviously there was a threat to my life at that point. I didn't want to die.
Right.
They said, "I feel like this is, you know, big enough to be in person." I said, "You know what? You're right. I'll come meet you." So I got Stevie to come with me because, again, I didn't want them to do anything to me. So I wanted someone to witness. I didn't want any narratives painted.
Mm-hmm.
So I went with Stevie. Then we met in Legion Square just by the bank, like in the middle section of Legion. Then when speaking to them, I hadn't met Shang before, so I introduced myself to Shang. We talked about the raid a little bit. There was a car right next to them, and there was someone in the back recording. I didn't notice, like, at all in that conversation. I didn't notice they were there. We had the chat. Stevie cut it off because it was very obvious they were trying to paint narratives and like get me to say certain things.
Right.
They were like quoting a conversation I apparently had with Finley, saying that I wasn't okay with the raid and I never agreed to it. But again, I genuinely think they've completely fabricated that story, tried to get me to agree with it, so it looks like it's like what's the word? Malicious. They were trying to paint it as malicious and get it on tape, hoping I'd agree with their story. I kind of went, yeah, nah, that's not what happened. If that's how you interpret our conversation, like, that's not what I meant at all. It got to the point where they kept painting. Stevie caught on, noticed the camera, and pulled us out of that conversation, and let me know on the way back to BCSO there was a camera that recorded the whole thing. Straight immediately after we had the meeting. That's
Got
what
it,
that
okay.
was.
Isn't that illegal in itself? Or not in Los Angeles?
Not if it was in a public setting, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't believe we're. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, but what was like? You said that they were trying to like frame things a certain way. Like, did you fall into the trap that they were setting?
I don't think so. I might have said like a few things that isolated. They sound bad, but I don't think.
Do you know if the whole recording was provided from start to finish?
I'm pretty sure it's on the docket. I might be wrong. I think Maxwell mentioned it the other day. I haven't seen it to this day. I still haven't seen it. I've heard a lot about it though.
Listen, I'm in evidence. PD antagonizing ADMC on Twitter.
They're definitely gonna go down the avenue where it was malicious, but like, how can they paint that when I've never crossed with them? Like, there will be a handful of reports that I'm even on the same scene as them, let alone dealing with them directly.
By the way, I know that they titled it PD antagonizing ADMC on Twitter. I will have you know, every one of those twats came from someone who was 42, and I know this because I went on radio, call 42, made the twat went 41. And so did everyone else.
Okay. Wait, I see it. Plaintiffs L recording of conversation between Finley Milton, Shang Lu, Lucas Miller, and Stevie. Let me see that.
Might be loud. Hold on.
I've got it. Do you want me to send it to you, or have you got it?
I have it. You just need to go over that and make sure that it is unedited. Because imagine it was edited to make it sound like you said certain things.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. It's a 10-minute recording, so I'll do that after this.
Yeah, when you're on like a break, you know, you're eating or something, you just have it, you know. You need to just make sure there ain't something real incriminating.
Yeah.
Because that would be bad. Like bad.
What would be really incriminating?
Saying bad things out loud, Miller. You know, saying the quiet part out loud. Those are incriminating. I'm not going to give exact examples, but you know, maybe if you had said, I'm only doing this because, you know, there's a promotion on the line, and yeah, I will go above and beyond and make sure that regardless of what I have, this gets approved. You know, because the implication there is you're gonna fabricate stuff. You know, like, you don't want that to be, that would be no bueno.
Okay, I'm really hoping I didn't say anything like that. I will look through it. Again, this was like a month
Just
and a half
remember,
ago, so.
it doesn't matter what your intent was. They're going to frame it a very specific way.
So am I gonna have to prove my intent wasn't malicious? Like going there with facts of like, I've only dealt with this group on these occasions. I had no contact with them before. I'm pretty sure in this recording, there will be me meeting Shang and introducing myself for the first time. Surely that alone is like...
Not really, because Shang's relevance to the situation is kind of such a small point, because obviously the overarching thing is ADMC, regardless of whether or not he's Big Boss Man. So it doesn't really, that part doesn't really matter. It's not really a defense. Like, does it contribute to your case? Sure. But it's not like some I gotcha moment. I don't even know the leader, therefore how could I hate them?
Are we getting King on the stand?
I have no
Did that
idea.
ever get... I know there was talks of that when I spoke to Maxwell. He was the one that put me on the case in the first place. He basically one quiet Saturday morning, he was like, ADMC have been doing this, that. I want you to put pressure on them with TRT. I said, yeah, of course I'd do that. There was nothing going on. So I basically just looked into the recent incidents, noticed these guys get caught an awful lot with class 2s. What can I do with this?
And not only that, they're making, they're putting up signs saying police will be shot.
Exactly. That was a big part of my search warrant.
Which implies they're in possession of guns. How you gonna shoot us if you ain't got a gun?
Yeah, exactly my argument.
Well, unfortunately, that might not work with McMoo. They may have actually had to have shot. You hope you didn't die immediately for you to legally return fire.
Until they've shown me the guns, they don't have guns. So I guess that's how it works, right?
I don't know.
As long as I don't lie on the stand, I can't get fired.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's correct. We can't be forced to fire you.
Surely, even if theoretically, I'm obviously not going to, theoretically, I did lie on the stand and they try and get you to fire me again.
Well, if you lie on the stand, you're being fired. I'm telling you that right now. You are not to lie on the stand. That is... Listen, any cop who lies on the stand, and I don't mean lie as in, like a genuine misstatement, right? These cases get scheduled like months from when the situations have actually occurred. Like, that's the reality. And I think remembering every detail perfectly is not practical. We're human. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to misremember stuff. We've had countless things that have happened since then, right? However, if you intentionally go out of your way to lie about something, and we know that you are fully aware of what the truth was, straight up, you would be fired. And lying on the stand is probably one of the worst things you can do, because the value in your statement as a police officer becomes irrelevant, becomes 0, maybe even a 1 on a scale of 1 to 100.
Yeah, no, it's important we hold that integrity, so I completely agree.
So again, I can't stress it enough. No lying on the stand, no stating you don't remember if you do remember. But if you are firm on that you don't recall exactly what had occurred in a situation, yeah, absolutely. You're good to state that you don't remember, you don't recall. As long as you're not only doing it in situations where it's like, oh, that makes me look bad. You know what? I actually don't recall. Because if you do recall, it's perjury.
Yeah, of course. I will answer everything to my best of my ability.
All right. Well, listen, I've given you warning. I wish you the absolute best in that case. I wish us the absolute best, considering it's going to be a lot of money. I don't think they're going to be awarded, if they are awarded anything, much at all. But I guess it depends. Did you warn the car you were going to hit it?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Well, it had a cover over it, so how would it have known?
Yeah, I guess it couldn't have known.
You're
I was
fucked.
about to have
You are fucked. I'm kidding, by the way. I'm being facetious here.
The thing, again, The EMS that is like saying I said all of these like stuff and was aware it was a memorial was the same EMS that got called to the scene 20 minutes later that put out the fire.
How'd you start a
And-
fire?
I- You tell me, because I swung at those cars once, maybe
Was there a
twice.
911?
I don't remember. I think I need Maxwell to tell me. It was something to do with like them calling or something like that. It was like 20 minutes later. I don't know exactly.
Where's Maxwell and where is Opal? When do they come on duty?
I know Maxwell doesn't do weekends. I think
Yeah,
she's off
Maxwell-
duty on weekends.
Maxwell
Okay.
doesn't do weekends. Opal is on leave, I believe, for the next week.
On leave?
I think she's.
How am I gonna
traveling.
let them know they're fucked?
Well, Maxwell's probably around Monday, so that's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Well, I'll probably be around tomorrow. I won't be around the day after. I'm having surgery. So I won't be able to communicate that. Well, I will tomorrow, but if I don't see Maxwell tomorrow, I'm gonna need one of y'all to let Maxwell know that the judge in question might be a bit iffy.
Okay.
Theoretically, you know how you were talking about like filing that the judge is
ACR?
incompetent.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you had a leg to stand on and they got thrown out, would they have to reschedule and get a new judge for us?
Not really. So ACRs are kind of very vague. An ACR can literally result in a written, like, we think you have failed here. We want you to improve. You know, like, it doesn't. It almost never results in someone being fired, or impeached or anything. So no, I think the likelihood that happens. But correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't there a panel on your case?
Yeah, I believe there's like 4 judges.
Okay, so I think, don't get me wrong, I think McMoo's ruling was, for lack of a better term, atrocious. However, I don't think, regardless of if McMoo's the primary one responding on the docket or anything, if there is a panel, especially in a large case like this, I think McMoo would be overruled by the other judges who, are also going to be looking over the case. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily. I don't. Again, I'm kind of being facetious here. Kind of a, heads up. McMoo, in my opinion, really fucked up, and I don't say this very often about judges. So just keep that in mind. That's why I wanted Brandy to hold your hand when I said it.
Yeah.
Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, no
'cause-
problem. Is it? Are y'all okay? Because now y'all a seat apart, and I don't know how I feel about this.
I just, well,
Why are you not sitting with me?
Not
Brandy?
why
only
aren't
is
you
it-
sitting on me?
Not only was you a seat apart, you now got this mohawk, and it's kind of like is it a wall between you two? What's going on?
Well, actually, this is getting changed. I kept the hair that got chopped up by the blades of everyone today, and I'm just gonna glue it back on so I can continue my hair growth journey.
Listen to this, Rose. She didn't want to be with me on a call so badly. She jumped on top of my car into blades.
That's not true. I was helping Hot Pursuits. I was helping him,
Mm.
and then Air One had a little situation and blew up, and I was trying to get away, and I hopped on top of a car, and then the blades got me.
Well, I
Yes.
think you're just trying to make riding with me seem bad so you can ride with Spectre.
Well, I mean, it is kind of bad because you blame me for the way you drive because the car drives
Oh,
so different with two
Honey,
people.
no, listen, Brandy,
Yeah.
honey, don't fall for the accent, okay? They're not all the same just because they might speak similarly to each other, okay?
No. I actually got a key to the Spectre, Arjun, and Miller house, so now it's Spectre, Arjun, Miller, and Brandy house.
Hector, Arjun, Sam. How do we put a B in there? You have to be like
Shit.
There's no good B's in.
Bams.
Yeah,
Bams.
Bams.
Yeah, Bams
Bam.
works, I guess.
Yeah, bams.
Yep, and well, actually, hold on. How do we do it with?
First names?
I don't know.
I guess Arjun's last name isn't Arjun. K. Bax? Right? His last name starts with a K?
Yeah, but who's the C?
It's a K.
Yeah, but your Bax has a C in it.
Yeah, but
Well,
you
I
can
mean, but you
also
say it out
pronounce
loud.
K as-
You say it out loud, it don't matter.
Yeah, Bax.
Bax, the Bax house.
I'm sure y'all will figure it out.
Bronson.
All right, well, guys, y'all get back out there. Again, just want to give y'all a heads up.
Okay.
Thanks for the heads up, bro.
Randy, your work husband might be poor for the rest of his life.
It's okay.
In severe,
getting money
massive,
from me.
crippling debt.
He's never given me money when I
You'll
asked,
look
so I'm never
after me,
giving him.
won't you, Brandy? You'll look after me.
You
the
might
breadwinner of
want
the
to let her hold on
relationship.
to some of your money before you ain't got none at all.
You think I should?
I don't know.
No.
You think
Hey.
I should operate in cash?
I think you should. I think you should
account.
put some money in a locker at minimum.
This is bad. How am I ever gonna get a paycheck ever again?
I don't know.
Oh.
Just come
What?
on.
I wish you luck with your operation, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Bye bye.
Hey, what's going on, Rhodes?
Hey, I almost said good morning. Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Hey, good afternoon to you, Rhodes. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm good. I'm good. I have bad news though.
Oh God, what is it?
Well, do you know how McMoo's the one on the Miller court case? Apparently, there's going to be
Yeah.
a panel, but like McMoo's the one who's like primarily responding and stuff. We need to count our fucking blessings that there's a panel and it's not just going to be McMoo, because yesterday McMoo ruled self-defense against PD.
How?
Your guess is as good as mine. It was, I don't say this very often, it was the worst court case ruling I think I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
It's being appealed, but
You
McMoo's
got a
are
thing so we can read it? I think we should probably look into it a little bit, right?
Maple has already filed a judicial appeal. I was gonna put up an appellate review
But
because
do you know where the report is?
I was the one who called for us to open fire in this situation. Pred, I can give you context.
Hey, you want to talk about? Hey, how about we
Yeah.
go out? Hey, listen, I upgraded my car a little bit. Hey, how about you come over here, grab one of these cones, all right? And we'll talk about. Actually, no, hold on.
Where are you? Where are you?
I'm making sure. I want us to when me and you go to every once in a while we go to these robbery scenes. We got to be able to really set the the surroundings. You know what I mean?
Right.
On the
Yeah.
outside. I'm filling my
I'm with
trunk
you.
up with like cones and barricades and stuff.
Oh, people are gonna steal them. You got to put them in. Pred, one of the major issues we have is that people just come up and fucking scoop them up and leave, just like they do with our spike strips.
Yeah, I mean, if people want to do that, and they want to, if that's the type of culture that they want to do, I mean, hey, if that's what they want to do right now, you know what? By all means, I guess. Hey, you want to get in? I'm right next to you.
I didn't realize I ran past you. What the fuck? I've
Man,
arrived.
these things are fucking heavy, man.
They are. So
Hey, check
you.
the trunk.
Oh gosh. You better never leave your car unlocked. Holy fuck. So I'll give you context.
Yeah, give me
There
that
is
context.
so there's a call. We respond. I want to say I don't know if it was one of the armored car calls. Anyways,
So it was a meth run.
possibly. I'm not 100% certain. We'll just say stolen car, just to keep it simple.
Gotcha.
So stolen
it's
car-
100% a stolen vehicle. Like, we're aware
Yes.
of that fact.
I don't recall if the original stolen vehicle gets away or if it gets disabled, but eventually a tulip shows up. Tulip's interference. Then another vehicle shows up. So there's simultaneous pursuits. I'm on the tulip, and the tulip flips on Del Perro under movie star. Furore shows up, registered to Carl Johnny Black, and starts ramming the vehicle. One moment. Hey, Miller.
Question.
I might have an answer.
So do you know how I was saying about like it was the first time I met Shang?
Uh-huh.
Finley said within the first 20 seconds of the recording, it's nice that you're finally meeting the people that you're raiding.
Oh wow. Yeah,
That-
no, I
sure.
think I mean I think that can definitely contribute, which is why, Miller, I'm tasking you with looking over every piece of evidence to make sure you can point out any flaws, okay? Because you need to be able to do that to position yourself well in that court case.
Okay, I'm gonna go over the whole thing.
Thank you.
Perfect. Okay.
Appreciate
thank
it.
you,
All right,
sir.
bye.
Bye-bye.
So the tulips flipped over. Furore comes and tries to ram it. I get in the way. It's also right up against like the center median of the freeway, so I push the Furore and it flips. But they already flipped the tulip, so the tulip then flips over the Furore, and then the Furore starts ramming me intentionally. Not like oh oops, it was they accelerated as much as they could, struck my vehicle, turned into me, tried accelerating more, but I'm in an all-wheel drive car, which is why I like all-wheel drive cars. And I'm able to, you know, sort of get out of the position in which he's trying to ram me into a wall. He flees. It is what it is. He's being pursued. I'm pursuing another vehicle. During this pursuit, while I'm pursuing the other one, Davenport called out that the Furore had just turned in front of an officer at like 120 miles an hour, which was Dan Fisher. Dan said it was over 100 for sure, but ultimately at this point, like, very aggressive, right? Shortly after that, Davenport then says when he was communicating to the driver, which was KJ, he needs to pull over and surrender. KJ responded with, "The only way I'm getting out of this car is to shoot you." So I cleared us to open fire. And
How?
the judge,
How did we lose this?
the judge ruled that I'll just read what was posted. I'll read what was posted. We lost this because of McMoo is the long story short, but it states, today we've heard arguments from both sides regarding the situation and how the charge of attempted murder of a government employee revolves around it. There are two aspects to take into consideration in this instance: how qualified immunity applies to the officer's actions, and if Mr. Black's actions fit the charge of attempted murder of a government employee. Now, before I continue, Pred, I can't stress this enough. Qualified immunity has no place in this circumstance because, number one, we're not being sued, and number two, officers aren't being charged with a crime related to it. Therefore, McMoo could have said there's three aspects, a third of which the sky had to have been blue that day, and it's irrelevant because it doesn't apply in this case. You can pick that up. I'll continue once you're done.
Hey, what's up, my favorite lieutenant? My day's going. Hey, listen, my day's going really good. Rhodes is just telling me about how a court case was, how someone defended themselves against the PD. I'm gonna be honest, that's what I always wanted to do. I'm a little pissed off that someone else did it, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. Well, what's on your mind, Peach?
Are we picking up Peach?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Eva, agreed.
Yeah, you can share that. Yeah, you can post a missing persons thing on. Yeah, you're trying to get more info on them. Do we need to get a sketch artist in? Have you thought about reaching out on Twitter trying to find us a sketch artist? Why not? Let's get we need to get a PD sketch artist.
I think that's a phenomenal
Peach,
idea.
you can do anything. You're in charge of my Peach and Tea department. All right, today I'm making the announcement that you're in charge. All hiring goes through you. No, I haven't spoken to Oxby yet. I haven't seen Oxby. He's around every day. All right, how about... You are? All right, Peach, we're going to get together in a after storm. We're going to get together. Me and Rhodes got to talk about some stuff.